Financial restructuring involves the altering of the capital structure of a country, specifically when businesses are unable to meet the servicing requirement of existing debt obligations. In what could be termed a case of financial restructuring, President Bola Tinubu has cleared Nigeria's legacy debt at the International Monetary Fund, IMF. And Nigeria, we can tell you, has exited the list of countries that are indebted to the IMF. The next step would be to build on this relieving news, Adewale.
I think no matter what we say about the current regime, for me, I think this is a landmark. For me, it was shocking to me. I never knew that we could clear up the debts in just 2 years, because the last tranche was about $1.61 billion.
Billion dollars, yeah.
And as at Wednesday, May 05, Nigeria came clean out of about 90 countries that has the biggest debtors.
Yeah.
Nigeria exited that zone. I think this is a hoot minus. By July 2024, it was $472 billion dollars.
Yeah.
So to be able to pay back, and also to have paid back the money we got, funds received, on COVID-19, the rapid financial investment, I think this is quite remarkable. And the implication is that Nigeria will no longer be using sometimes 90% of our earnings to service debts. So it means we are going to plug back the country's resources into meeting social and economic obligations that the people really need. So I think it's a very good stand. It's a very big news for Nigeria. And I think even financial investors all over the world are shocked that within just 2 years, what is a miracle? So I think it's the biggest news right now for this country.
Because, Mr. President is a money man, if you understand what I mean. That's his background. So he knows how to do business. You see what I mean? He's a businessman, so he's business-minded, and so he knows how to work, navigate.
He wants the world to know that Nigeria is ready to do business. And that Nigeria is serious about fulfilling its obligations. If you want to do business with people, you want them to take you seriously. You have to show them that you are serious about fixing the economy. They are interested in seeing whether you are interested in reform or not. And this president has shown that he's interested in taking bold steps and difficult decisions in line with reforming, in line with reform that our economy critically needs. So he's already demonstrated that. He came into office at a time when we were owing all kinds of creditors. In the aviation sector, people could not repatriate their funds.
I remember that.
And some of them even decided to exit Nigeria. Because what is the point? You are working here, you are making money here, and you can't repatriate your funds. You are owing them. Those obligations have now been cleared in the region of $7 billion. That's a lot of money.
Oh yeah, $7 billion. Okay.
Those obligations have been cleared. There is no better way to communicate to the world that Nigeria is ready for business than what the president has done through the CBN governor to clear those obligations. So if you want to come into Nigeria now to do business, you now know that your interests will be taken care of. It's not a case of you are working and you cannot repatriate your funds. Nobody wants to get into such nasty arrangements. We've been able to do that. And I think that we have not given the government credit enough even for that. We are in a good place with the UAE, for example, with the Emirates airline.
Emirate Air.
Yes, with the airline, we are in a good place with them because we have honored our obligations. So we are not seen as a pariah anymore. The other day when Ayata was talking about obligations to airlines, the biggest chunk of those unmet obligations came from Nigeria.
Right.
As a Nigerian, we should be ashamed. But the government has dealt with that problem. That is one. And then we have this. The special drawing rights is not as humongous as the loan that was paid. I saw some people who are never happy when Nigeria makes takes a giant step.
This giant leap.
They do not want. It is the negative stories about our country that excite them. I don't know where they came from, because a person who truly loves his country cannot be banging his head against the wall just because something good has happened to the same country. Why not leave the country for people who are happy to live here?
So whether or not they are persuaded, the show goes on.
No, because on the website of IMF, just as he said, Nigeria was not listed among those 90 countries. So making a mountain out of a molehill, that there is still some money that has not been paid, the principal has been cleared.
Okay.
The special drawing right, and look, they still have time to even pay that one. We are just in the 4th month. That one is not a lot of money compared to what we paid. Give a little credit, because for some of those people, when they do little things, maybe they give a little money to those who hang around them. They want to be praised. They want to be, to be thanked. Even the following day, thanks for yesterday. But you see somebody do something, you are reluctant to even acknowledge that this is something good about our country. Why do people subject themselves to this level of frustration? You are frustrated about good things happening in our country. I wish I understand.
What crazy choice?
I don't understand. Now this, whether we like it or not, statisticians, one of the most famous data companies in the world, have already said that Nigeria has hesitated. So whether you choose not to believe or not is your problem.
The reality is there.
The reality is a stark reality. It's as apparent as daylight that we have met that obligation.
It is said the only way to create the future is to invent it. We are doing it now. We are telling the world.
Look, see, now not just that. States are also paying their debt.
Yes.
You heard the story of Jigawa. You heard the chunk of debt that Jigawa has paid because they are getting more money now from the distributable revenue from the center. They are getting more money. They are able to spend some of that money to clear their indebtedness. So at the end of the day, if we are not bogged down by debt servicing, you will be able to free good funds for infrastructure, for education. You'll be able to free more funds to develop the country. That is why we should be happy and not subject ourselves to unnecessary mental agony because something good is happening in our country. Because these good things will continue to happen. And I've said it's not about the president. It's about our country.
Yes.
So those going about preaching Nigeria is bad, Nigeria is this, why don't they go and live in another country? If you don't see anything good in your country, then go elsewhere. Go elsewhere. Go to Rwanda and see whether you'll be permitted to say some of the things you say in public. Go there now. We are talking about, Nigeria is going to become a one-party state. So in Rwanda, does Kagame agree not to score 94% of the votes in an election? Does he agree? If it's less than that, Kagame does not believe that he has contested an election.
It's for me, you are seeing the promised land and we are moving towards there. So why should it bother anybody that we are moving towards having a clean bill of health? We have suffered enough. Enough is already too much.
As at the first quarter of 2023, Nigeria was indebted to the tune of $114.35 billion. That's about 80, that's about 88 trillion naira. So to be able to remove that backlog, I think is a very that's something we need to. Of course, we admit there are a lot of things that we really need to do, especially in terms of fighting corruption, in terms of security. But we should be honest enough to admit where progress has been made. Years back was servicing of debt over 90% of our earnings. That's very bad news. And when you are able to clear your debt, you are reinforcing a new trust, global trust in your economy. You know, when President Obasanjo came, he was able to get, debt forgiveness because we are just coming out of the military. So there was a lot of global sympathy. Those debts were mainly owned by the military. But in this case, a different case. It has to do with working hard day and night to ensure you are able to save, a lot of funds to be able to service and pay up these debts. So,
and besides, Mr. President knew that the table was an urgent one
before
he elected to take the job. So, but he's delivering.
So I think what Nigerians now expect to see, okay, now we have cleared the debt. We are not going to be servicing debts again. We want to also see transformation in terms of health, in terms of roads, in terms of infrastructure, in terms of electricity. So that is the challenge we are throwing before the regime to use the excess fund that will now come in to address these problems.
One thing at a time.
So, but we are really, it's a huge thing. You would think 2 years. It's remarkable. I doubt if any government has ever done that.
The one I talked about earlier, those indebtedness to those airlines.